So black men have to work hard while being creative. Now, I truly believe that a man being creative and a man being a thinker is the most important thing. That is the most important thing. But when you're not yet at that position to just create and create, yeah, you're gonna have to work hard. Obviously, there's many different ways you can look at what I'm saying when I say work hard and when I say be creative. But you can really just apply this to anything that you're going through in life or anything that you're trying to do and any goal that you have, you know. And when I say work hard, that could be you're working hard at being creative. That could be you're working hard to get to a position where you're more creative, and you can use this in a context of, if you want to be more of an entrepreneur, that's what I use it for a lot of. That's what I use that, as far as being creative and working hard. I use that in the mentality of wanting to be an entrepreneur one day, wanting to be a person that works for themselves, but also, it's many different things you can apply this to. And I think that if you're a man that you're not at a position where you're being as creative as you want to be, working hard can get you in a position where you're more creative. And that all starts with having goals, planning, and having some type of structure. One thing I want to get away from with black men is we don't need to look at ourselves and put ourselves in positions where we're not using our mind, where we're just strictly bounded to being laborers and not being people who are intellectual or being people who are thinkers, right? And I'm not sitting here like I'm the most smartest person, because I'm definitely not, but I do have confidence in myself, and I know that I'm a person. At the end of the day, I'm going to think and I'm going to be creative, and I'm not going to be a slave to the system, right? I'm going to use my mind and wake up, right? But it's so many black men who don't care about being creative. They just care about surviving, and they care about doing the bare minimum so they can survive. But being creative is all about going beyond that, and setting your own standard, and you having life the way you want it. Being a laborer is just doing just enough so you can live, so you can survive, basically. Not even live, so you can survive. So that's the thing we have to understand. Black men, we have to learn how to work hard, learn how to put our head down a lot of the times, and work hard for something that is going to put us in a position where we can create. And I think, what I mean by that is, if you're a guy who wants to be an entrepreneur one day, or wants to be a person that's doing more with them lives, or they're just not where we're just not, we're just not at where we're not at the place we want to be at, right? It's going to take hard work for you to get to where you want to be. It's going to take sacrifice. It's going to take you doing things that you don't want to do. And I don't want to be a hypocrite. I've heavily struggled. I still struggle currently now with working hard, and when it comes to being a person who wants to be in a position one day where I am an entrepreneur, where I do want to create, so I don't want to come on here like I'm a person that's mastered everything. I'm still a person that's figuring stuff out. I'm still a young man just trying to get stuff right, you know. And I do understand that it does take hard work. It does take going against how you feel a lot of times, and that can be really, that can be something that's really hard, you know. So I just want to emphasize that never neglect not using your mind, but also understand that you have to take your place so that you can get to the position you want to be in life, where you can be more creative. Because I think that that is the goal, to be more creative. And that's something that black men need more than any other man in this world. You know, obviously we were slaves at some point, so it was illegal for us to use our minds, for us to be thinkers, for us to learn how to read and write, you know. And this is one reason why I don't look at college the same way I used to look at college, in a very negative tone, you know. I just think the problem nowadays is that people don't have a plan, and people think it's going to save them, when really it's a plan, it's a goal that's going to save you. And then using college within that is the beneficial mentality and a beneficial way to go about it if you are going to college, because education can tremendously help you. You just have to have a plan before you step into it. And so that's the thing that I'm really just trying to point out, that uh, it takes a combination of hard work, a combination of you using your mind while being a hard worker. That's I'm also saying that as well, but I'm just saying that a lot of people can break it apart and say, well, just work, don't use your mind, just work, right? And that's not the mentality I'm trying to get people to be in. But when I say hard work, a lot of the times too, because I can mean different things when I say hard work. The context I'm about to use it in now is where you're working hard to get to the position you want to be in life, but never try to, you can't separate it. That's basically what I'm saying. Never separate hard work from being creative, because once you separate it, then you'll never get to a position where you can be creative because you didn't work hard to get there. And if you're working hard all day and you're not creative, you're basically a slave, you're a laborer, you're a person who doesn't have a mind, and you're just a warm body to somebody. So never try to separate the two. I always keep the two grouped together. They go hand in hand. Work hard so that you can be more creative. Work hard at being more creative. Work hard at being the most creative person you can be as a black man. Being more of a thinker, being more of a intellectual person who can think about stuff and not just being a person who's taking orders and who's a slave, right? So what I'm really trying to emphasize with this whole video is that you should use your mind over everything. Use your mind, because really that's where we're dangerous. That's where we're powerful, when we use our mind. For so long in this country, we weren't they weren't giving us the opportunity to really use our mind. And at some point it was illegal for us to use our mind. We're just slaves. We're just people that was going to be used for labor. We're just warm bodies. We weren't even considered humans. So that should be a wake up call for us to use our mind. And that doesn't just mean go to college. That doesn't just mean take a traditional route so somebody can say that you're smart. No, obviously do stuff that's goal oriented and make sure it's based around who you are, what you really want to do, and something that keeps you in tune with yourself. If it if it's people saying, "Oh, let's do that because that's what smart people do," don't do it just because of that. Do it because it's in line with who you are and it's in line with your journey in life. And that's the most important thing. And that's something that as I get older, I understand that I gotta stay in tune with myself. I'm not just gonna do it because uh people gonna pick on me, or people gonna say you need to do this and you need to do that. For so long, when you get into a mentality where you're just doing because everybody else said to do it, or do it because people said that's what smart people do. No, do what you want to do. That's what life is about. You doing what you want to do, not going with, oh, I'm about to do this because they said when I was, like, no. And I had to catch myself from doing that, because I'm a person that used to be, I used to have a lot of confidence issues as far as me not feeling smart enough, right? And a lot of times I put it on myself because I didn't work hard, right? So remember that working hard is important. And I know it's kind of confusing when I say hard work, but I'm just trying to emphasize that hard work has to go hand in hand with being a creative and being a thinker. That's pretty much all I got to say. Peace out.